Hi everyone, Corey here with the Emerging Technologies 2 presentation. So after watching all the emerging technologies voice threads that we completed, Olivia's really jumped out at me and really kind of made me want to dive in more to coding. And what I like about it is that I see a use for it with students who have a deficit in processing and really, which way do I go or what do I make something do or code it to make it say or anything like that. And, really making those connections and processing in some areas that they might not be as successful when it comes to regular curriculum. And so I really wanted to dive in and I found this Codeable resource. And this is a paid subscription based resource. It does give you a free trial to kind of explore it. And it's great because it comes with absolutely everything. It has lessons, it has videos, there are assignments you can give students where they have their own kind of homepage. It really is amazing. And so I'm going to go ahead and dive right in and start with the lesson library for everyone. So this lesson library has everything. This resource is geared towards kindergarten through fifth grade students. It can be used, I even thought that it could be used with my students and the students that really are at a lower level. Students could be in seventh grade, but they're reading around a fifth grade level and they might be processing even at a fifth grade level. And so this really can be geared towards a lot of different students. What I like also are the content areas that it aligns with. It's not just your math and science, like you might make the assumption that it would be. It really covers multiple areas. I mean, even social studies, social emotional learning that a lot of students struggle with, that I see that could benefit from that as well. So with these lessons, you can pick, what grade you want to gear it towards. So fifth grade, and it brings up all the lessons that fifth grade is within the band. And so I'm going to show you Women in Technology lesson. So here it tells me that it's a third through fifth grade level lesson. Each lesson gives you a little blurb here and tells you, what's the lesson about. It's going to give you all the objectives, and it gives you objectives from each grade that it covers. I mean, elementary computer standards, science standards that you could maybe use if that is your age that you're looking at. And then any objectives. So what the students are going to get out of the lesson. And then if we scroll down here, it gives you all of your materials. It gives you your videos. If you click here, it gives you everything to be printed. So here are the day one materials. All right, it's going to give you the excerpt from the speech that you're going to read. And if you keep scrolling, your discussion questions before and after you read the excerpt, and then you go on to day two. And so it gives you everything you need. And this whole packet covers your lesson day one all the way through day three, which is awesome. Another thing is it gives you each day as a breakdown. So day one, you're going to do this. It gives you what you want them to think, pair, share. Here are the videos it's providing you. And it tells you, what the next steps are. And then it goes into day two and day three. So the lesson really provides you with everything and sets you up for success within the classroom, which I love. And if we go back, here's another one. This is the sequence, the first lesson to sequencing. So here are the objectives again. This one provides you with vocabulary that would need to be used, which is something that, I'm new to coding, so that's something I would need help with. And so really helping myself understand it and preparing me to help the students understand it. And then also you can see here the direct instruction with this lesson should take about 15 minutes. So if pacing is something you're worried about in a certain time span, this helps as well. And the lesson library, I mean, it's like endless. If you unclick fifth grade, it shows you all of them. I mean, look at all these lessons. It's really amazing what all is provided in that lesson library. So that's one aspect that I love about this resource. If I go to assignments, so there's 3 worlds in Codeable. This one, the Smeeborg, is going to be kind of the introductory level. And then you have your intermediate, and then you have your really advanced student. And so if we choose this world, you can see that I've assigned lessons 1 and 2 to all of my class that I created, and then even down to here. And what I love is each world and each lesson really builds on one another. Like this here, the first lesson of the entire thing is going to be geared towards K through 5th grade, so everybody can be really participate in this. And it is the bare minimum. You know, what do you have to do to code for your little fuzzball that they give you? What it's to do, what they're asking you to do. And so, like I said, there's 3 different worlds, Asteroidia, and it builds on one another again, which is really great. And so each skill that they're learning, they can continue to use in each level. So students here, you can see that these 4 students are in my class. And so if I want the students, here's parent instructions, which is great. If I want the students to work on something at home, I can send this slip home with them. And, it says what are we doing? How do I log in? This is my student code that I have. And so that's something you can send home with students when you want them to work on extra things outside of the classroom, which I think is great because we can all use practice, not just in the classroom. And so this is really where you add students at. Tracking progress, so you can view class progress. So I want to click skills, and this kind of shows you where everybody is. So Jane, she's really in progress kind of all over. Mike and Sally are working on one, and then Jill hasn't started. So that is one way to look at progress, but then you can also look at individual student progress, which I think is a great breakdown. So this, I'm going to do skills, and I'm going to click Jane. This gives you a percentage of where she is at with each different level. So with sequence, she's got 39% done. It shows you how many attempts, how many stars she got, and then how many wins. And so this is a great breakdown of data that can really be used in how the student is doing. And if you need to see, a certain part of the level, here, if we see sequence 1, level 5, it only took her 1 attempt. She got 3 stars, and then the 1 wins. So that is a really awesome part, is the progress and the data that it provides you with. So I am going to show you kind of from a student standpoint as well. It does provide the educator with so many options with the resource. So here are 2 options when the students log in. They can enter a student code, which I showed you on the slip, or you also make a class code. And so for my class code, I did skills 209. And I'm going to click Jane. And it's going to load here. So this is what a student kind of page would look like. So the fuzz is what we call here. So this little guy's a fuzz. Create, when they get to this level, they can make mazes and design games once they go through so many of the levels and are successful. But to work on the assignments here, we're going to click in this area, and then it has the 3 worlds that we talked about. So I'm going to go to the beginner and kind of show you guys what a beginning lesson looks like, even though she's already completed this. So here they are showing you, how to complete a level. And then we're going to hit the play button and see what the fuzz does. And they've gotten to the end of the maze. And then so we go to the next one. And now it really allows a student to do it on their own. So they've done it once with support, and now they're going to do it independently. So I'm going to go here. Oh, I want to move that over. And I'm also going to show you what happens if I make a wrong move and how the immediate feedback is really a nice aspect. So I'm just going to hit play. I know it's going to be incorrect. So the little fuzzball here has a sad face, which is good for younger students because they, recognize that. So I'm going to try again. And then it actually highlights which direction was incorrect. And so I know where I need to remove and do another try. So I'm going to go to the right and then up and to the right again and click play. So that was the first level. And then I'm going to show you the second level and how it builds on one another. So that is like the first step. Go back here, go to the beginner one. And we're going to go here to Condition Canyon. And I'm going to click on level 2. So now what they have to do is they have to insert the color tiles along with the direction. So we can go right. We want to go up, and then we're going to insert the yellow tile. And then to the right, because we want to collect all the stars. We want to go down at the yellow tile. Even I have to think about this sometimes. And then to the right. And then up. And to the right again. And then I click play. And so you can see how they took the first level and then they're building upon that with the coding. And so that's just, I just think a really nice aspect. And part of it is that they show the student, they model it for them first, then they try on their own. And then each time they move up, you know, they're building on that. And so here are the other lessons that they can do as well. And one other thing I wanted to show you guys is the end of the year certificate. So whether it's end of the year or the end of this time that you're working on this in your classroom, there are these certificates that you can make for students to where it tells you, you know, how many lessons did they do when they were successful in, and then how do they continue doing this at home. And so I think it's great because, you know, we always want our students to continue their work outside, whether it's reading or, you know, and this can encompass everything. And so it gives you, you know, where do you go to, getting a parent access site and the student and then their code. And so really another way for them to continue to be successful outside the classroom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this resource that I found. Thank you, Olivia, for introducing me to coding in ways that it can be used in areas that I never thought before. So definitely check it out, and thanks for watching my presentation for Emerging Technologies 2.